Dear students, welcome to the Department of Electronics. This is your class 15 on C programming. So in the last class you studied about the if-else statement and some programs on the if-else statement. Okay. Today's class you are going to learn the nested if-else statement. You are going to study the syntax working of the nested if-else statement with example. Let us see. First, what do you mean by the nested if-else statement? Nested is nothing but what? One thing present in the another thing. That means the same things are present. One circle is present in the another circle. Is nothing but what we are telling. So this is one circle. This is the another circle. Okay. So if the here what we are telling means circle is nested in the another circle. Nested if a statement is nothing but the same thing. This is one if else statement and this is another if else statement. Okay. So that is why it is called a nested. One if else statement is present in the another if else statement. It is called a nested if else statement. So the next point is what is the necessary and where you are going to use this nested if else statement. In the last class we studied the if statement and if else statement. Okay, why we are using the if statement? If statements are used to test the condition. Depends on the conditions, some set of the statements are going to execute it. In the if else also what happens? Depends on the set of conditions. If it is true, some set of the equations are going to, some set of the statements are going to execute it. And next is, if that condition is false means another set of the statements are going to execute it. Both if and if else are used for only one condition. Okay, but in some situations what happens? I need to check the two conditions. That means first it should check first condition is also true and the second condition is also true. If both the conditions are true, then the sum set of the statements should be executed. In that type of the situation, what happens? We are going to use the nested if-else statement. Okay, nested is nothing but what? One if-else statement is in the another if-else statement. That is nothing but what? The nested. If you want to check more than one condition, then we are using the nested if statement. Okay, in this way actually you can check more than two also. That also you are going to study in the next class. Today we are going to study only for the two conditions. Okay. So an if statement may itself contain another if statement inside it. This is known as nested if. Okay. It is the simple. So first I am explaining the another one example. After explaining the example, I am going to tell you the syntax with the flowchart. Okay. First let us see what is our example. So first I am going to take, if here I will write the condition. What is the my condition is, if I go to college, what you are going, what you are doing in the college after going to the class, after going to the college. If you have the class, you are attending the class. If you are not having the class, then you are going to library. Correct? So you will see what is the first if. This is what your outer block of the if statement. Okay, this is for your understanding. So next condition. If I go to college is first condition. Next condition means if I have the class. If both the conditions are true, then you are going to attend the class. Correct? If I go to college and if I am having the class, then you are attending the class. And next is you are going to college and if you have the class, you are attending. But if you are not having the class, then what you are doing? Else, what you are doing? You are go to library. Correct? So that is why what I have written, I go to library. So just for your understanding what I told, this is the outer if statement. In one if statement, we have written the another if else statement. Correct? So if this condition is true, then it is going to execute the next condition. If this condition is true means this block is going to execute it. Else what happens? This block is going to execute it. This is called what your inner block of the if statement. When it is this inner block is executed if this condition is true. But what happens if this condition is only false? That means you are not going to the college. Then what happens? We will see here. Okay, but what happens if you have to close this? Else is nothing but what? This is the outer block if statement else. This is complete. This is what your inner block if. This is outer block. If this condition is false, that means now what happens? You are not coming to the college. Then what happens? Else. Okay, what in this else also I am taking the another if statement. If I have the online class, then I will attend the class at home. Okay, this is what your inner box else. But you are not having the online class. Then what you are doing? I complete assignment at home. And this is what your inner blocks will be executed. Afterwards, you are having the next statements means they are going to execute it. In this PPT, you are going to learn the flowchart of the nested if else statement. So first what happens? You are checking the first test condition. Okay, if this, so whenever you are going to see this type of the symbol means it is going to check the condition. And whenever you are checking the condition, it has the two possibilities. One is the true and another one is the false. Let us take the true and the false. Okay, if it is true means what it should do? It should check the another condition here. If it is true means it is going to check the another condition. Okay, and first we will complete this one. If it is false means it is going to execute this false statement whatever you have written. Okay, so now we will come here. If it is false means it executes statement 1. Leave it. Next, if it is true, then what it is doing? It is going to check that second condition. Once again, if this condition is also having the two options, that is one is true and another one is false. If this is true, it is going to check the second condition. If this is true, that means both the conditions are true, means it is going to execute the statement 3. Okay. But what happens if it is false? If it is false, is nothing but this false block statement is going to execute it. What the point you have to notice here? This is the one if statement and this is the another if statement. So that is why whole this is called what your nested if else statement. And the important point is the statement X. That means if this is false, it is going to execute statement 1. Then it is going to execute the next statement available in the program. That means this block is not executed. When the first condition is false means, remember that these all the blocks are not going to execute it. It executes the next statement. And when it is true, then what happens? It is not executed statement 1. Then it is going to check the second condition. In this, if this in second condition is true means it executes statement 3 and it comes to the your control jumps to this statement X. Okay, then it is not going to execute statement 1 and statement 2. If this test condition 2 is false means that it is going to execute its statement 2 and it executes the statement X. Then it is not going to execute statement 3 and statement 1. That is very important. Okay. So why I have written this statement X? After executing this any one of the statement, your control goes to this statement X. Okay. Another one point you have to remember, in all these three statements, any one statement is executed and your control comes to the statement X. Okay, this is what your flow of the nested if else statement. Now move to the syntax for the nested if else statement. It is very important. So till now what you have studied using the flow chart, the same thing we are writing in the form of the sentence. Okay. Let us hope all of you are following my videos. If you have any doubts means please put the doubts in the Teachment app. It is very important that you all of you should able to understand the concepts clearly. Okay. So now, let us see the syntax. Syntax is nothing but what? The same thing you are using in your program. Okay. If test condition 1, if is a what? Keyword. All of you know what is keyword. Here you are writing the test condition. Next, this is the outermost if statement. In the opening brace, we are using the another if statement. If test condition 2. Okay. If both the conditions are true means it is going to execute the statement 1. Else it is going to execute the statement 2. Which else it is? It is inner block else. Okay, if both the conditions are true means it is going to execute this. If this condition is false means it is going to execute statement 2. Else is nothing but what? If this test condition is true, then it executes this test condition 2. If this is false means your control goes to the else of the outer block if statement. Okay, then it is going to execute the statement 3. Then finally it is statement X. Okay, you see once again what happens. First here you are written the one test condition. Okay, I will take the pointer. So here the test condition is true, means what happens, it is going to check the second condition. Okay, if this is only false, means what happens, directly your control goes to this else, then these are all statements, no, they are not going to execute it when this test condition is false. Directly it is going to execute the else of the outermost if statement, and afterwards your control goes to the next statement. What happens when this is true means, when this is true means it is going to check the second condition. If this condition is true, then only it is starts executing statement 1. Okay, when if this condition is true means it executes statement 1, and afterwards your control goes to the statement X. Okay, if both the conditions are true means this statement executed, this part is not executed. Directly statement X is executed. If you think that this condition is false, then what happens? This statement 1 is not executed. It is executed the else block of this if statement, that is else statement 2. If this is false means else block is executed, statement 1 and statement 3 are not executed. After executing the statement 2, it executes the statement X. Okay. Like this, what happens? This nested if is going to work. So let us see the example, one simple example. So I already told in the last class, just we have checked only one condition. If that condition is true means which of the statements are going to execute it. If that condition is false means which of the statements are going to execute it. But here what happens? One time what happens in some of the applications, two conditions should be satisfied. Then you are going to use this statement. I will tell the one example, and the same example we are going to write the program for it. So what is this example means? First I will explain you. So you think that I want to apply one job, whatever may be the name of the job. For that job, what are the conditions means? Your age should be more than 18 and your percentage should be more than 60. If the two conditions are satisfied, then you are eligible for writing the exams. Okay, both the conditions should be satisfied. If any one condition is not satisfied, then you are not eligible for writing the program. Writing the exam. What are the conditions? Two conditions. Your age should be more than 18, and next thing is your percentage should be greater than 60. So first what we have to do? So you have to read the two things. What are the things? Percentage and the age. Like that, just you have to imagine and write the program. Okay, what are the things required to write the program? So first, as usual, you are going to write the comment line. Afterwards, you are going to write the link section and the main. And after the main, you are going to write the opening brace. And what are the two things I have to read? Percentage and the age. For that, first what you have to do? You have to declare that. Okay, let us hope these two are of the data type integer. So here I am declaring int percentage. So here percentage and age are of the two integer variables. So instead of writing percentage full thing, I have taken ph and the age. Okay. So I think I forgot to put the semicolon. Remember that each and every statement in the C should be ended with the semicolon. Okay, next. So next what you have to do? You have to read this two percentage and the age. For reading, we are using the input statement called the scanf. Okay, scanf. Because of these two integers, you should take the percentage d and ampersand of percentage and ampersand of age. What the ampersand stands for? Address. Scanf, you are writing this. What is its meaning? Means you are saying that go to this address and read these values. Because I have already told you, whenever you are writing this int percentage and age, whenever you are writing the declaration, what happens? Two, two, 2 bytes of memory is reserved for this one. Okay, this is of 2 bytes and this is of 2 bytes. Its value is p age and its value is only age. Okay, so whenever you are right, and another one thing is it has some address. Okay, for example, let us say its address is of 4000 and its address is 4002, or it may be the 4008. It is not that it is 4000 and it is 4002. So just I am taking the example. So whenever you are writing this scanf, okay, so you have to enter the values here. So percentage, any percentage you have to enter here, and age you have to enter. It is stored in this variable. Okay. After this, what we have to do? We have to check the conditions. Okay. So to check the two conditions, you have to use the nested if statement. First, we have to check the age. Age is very important. Okay. If age is greater than or equal to 18. Correct. So what is our aim of the program? Both conditions should be satisfied. So first I am checking this, and I am next, if this is true means what I should do? I am going to tell. Okay. So first, if age is greater than 18, afterwards I have to check that if percentage is greater than 60. If both the conditions are true means what you have to do? Print the candidate is eligible for writing the exam. So here I printing the one message that eligible for writing the exams. Okay, if both the conditions are true, this is going to execute it. You think that this is an inner block statement. We have to write both the options. If this is true means it is going to execute this statement. What happens if this is false? False means we have to write, that means else of this one. You see here, else printf not eligible for writing the exams, because percentage is less. If you want, you can write percentage is less than 60, not eligible for writing the exams. Okay, now this is completed, both the option. But here what happens if age is greater than 18? If this condition true means it is going to check the next condition. If this condition is only false means what it should do? If this condition is false means it is going to execute this one, because this is the else for this one. Okay, printf not eligible for writing exam because age is not permitting. Age is not greater than or equal to 18. So that is why what happens, it is not going to print. So afterwards what happens, after executing this, it is going to execute the next statement whatever you have written here. So just what I have written, printf try next time and close the program. Okay, so we will see it once again. That means I want to explain you. If so this is, I think all of you are perfect, it is not necessary. We will take the one things. Okay, one example here. I will take the percentage as 70. Okay, age is 20 we will take. Okay, let us check the. So here whenever you are giving the value, it is go and sit in this memory location. So if age, if you are taking, means what is the value is present in the age is taken by here, and it checks if 20 is greater than or equal to 18, the condition is true. When the condition is true means what happens? It is going to check the next condition. Here what is the percentage? Percentage is 70. Instead of pH it take the 70. 70 is greater than 60. Yes, both the conditions are true, then it is going to execute this statement. That means it is what is your output you are going to get eligible for writing exam. So this is eligible. Okay, so now just you think that I have written here 50. What happens? 50 instead of 70, if I have written the 50, then what happens? This is 20 only. Then what happens? Here control comes here and it checks the, but this condition is false. When this condition is false means this is not going to execute this printf statement. It searches for the else. What is present in the else, it is going to print this one, not eligible for writing the exams. Okay, it is printing that. So because just now we have read that it is 50. Okay, now it is over. Now let us take the. So next, another one important point I want to tell you that after executing this, it is not going to execute this else statement and this statement directly. Your control comes to the next statement which are available here. Okay, so it is going to print the try next time. Okay, but when the both are the true means, and then you have to write the different statement here. Okay, otherwise just you leave that statement. Okay, without that if you are writing means then your program is going to correct. And next, so another one, just I have to explain which one. First condition is false means what happens. Okay, okay, so presently you leave this one, just only for understanding I have written, you leave this one. Okay, and here what happens? So you think that I have taken the 17. What happens here? Age, instead of let us erase all the things. Okay, so you leave this thing, afterwards we will see. Let us end the program here. So here what happens? 17 I have taken here. 17 is greater than 18, the condition is false. When the condition is false means what it should do? When the condition is false means it is not going to execute this one, directly it comes to the else of the outermost block, and it is going to print this is not eligible for writing the exam because age is not permitted, and end of the program. Okay, so in the same way, try to write the program for greatest of three numbers. Okay, your today's homework is greatest of three float numbers. Okay, so if you have any doubts means, so please go through the video again and again. If you are unable to understand any point means, you can ask me in the teach me time.